Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here at the behest of the evil god of classical music, Carreras, who said to me, well, you're doing your series. If I could only choose one recording, I'm about to destroy all of classical music, but for one recording per performer and one work per composer, and you left out Riccardo Muti. To which my reply was, well, maybe if I just don't mention him, you won't do anything because you're waiting. And he said, no, you'd better just do Riccardo Muti. So I said, who am I to question? Okay, I'll do Riccardo Muti. If I could only choose one recording by Riccardo Muti, it would have to be Macbeth. Yes, for, so many reasons. First of all, he is one of the great Verdi conductors that has ever existed, and has dedicated his life to doing wonderful performances, mostly, not always, but mostly, of Verdi stuff. That's one of the reasons. Along with Claudio Abbado, he was part of that new generation of hot young Italian conductors who were really, really dazzling in Verdi because they really took Verdi seriously. Muti almost more than anybody else. He was totally behind the Toscaninian come scritto, exactly faithful to the score kind of Verdi interpretation. And when he was young, it was really, really dazzling. He pushed hard and insisted on really tight rhythms, and oh my gosh, it was just exciting as all hell. And he didn't do just the same old. He did some interesting other operas like Macbeth, and this one was issued around the same time as Claudio Abbado's with Shirley Verrett and other people. And the interesting thing about that is that it was the Abbado recording that got slightly more attention, I think. And it's a very, very fine Macbeth. It's absolutely marvelous. But I think this one's better. I really do. I think it's more exciting. It has raw intensity. It's got the early Verdian raunch, if you know what I mean. There's just that incredible excitement and directness and visceral quality. And this has really, really got it. There's a scene in. The other reason I chose this, by the way, is because I just love Macbeth. It's a fabulous opera, in the revised version, of course, but it is just splendid music and so much fun. And there's a scene, Italian opera had these conventions, and one of those conventions was there's always got to be a big concertato at the end of like the first or second act, and everybody sings together. There's a discovery. Everyone goes, oh, horror. And then they all start singing. And I'll just never forget this one particularly. It just drives home how Verdi understood and adapted to these conventions. Because in this particular example, they've just discovered that Duncan, or the king, right? It's Duncan, right? He's actually not a speaking role at all. He just gets murdered, right? Banquo, yeah, it's Duncan, is the king. He's been murdered, and there's this thrilling unison scream of horror from the chorus with it's just chilling, absolutely bone chilling. And then, they all do their singy thing. The soloists do their thing, and Lady Macbeth and Macbeth do their thing, and they're all lamenting. And then all of a sudden, it was obligatory in Italian opera that these big concerted things switch to the major key. No matter how horrifying the situation, and this is a pretty horrifying situation. And this one all of a sudden turns into this waltz. Da, 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 da. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And it's so inappropriate. And it's so Italian sounding. It's just this wonderful theme that Verdi could churn out those tunes. And somehow, by embracing this convention at its most ridiculous, he actually he makes it work. I mean, yeah, for the minute, when it turns into that like major key waltz thing, you just, you want to like link arms and start singing and, go out for a pizza. But it works. It's not really happy. It's just there's something about, I don't know, I can't explain it, why it works, but it works. And it's marvelous. And it's just it sort of encapsulates for me everything that I love about Macbeth. It's this embracing of, you've got the drinking song and you've got the mad scene, but you've also got the witches and you've got, all this other stuff. You've got La Luce Langue, the revised version. You've got all this wonderful pushing and testing the limits. It's just a wonderful opera. What can I tell you? And Muti's performance of it, I think, does that more than anybody else. He also has a wonderful cast, a really wonderful cast. I mean, with all due respect to Shirley Verrett, I think Fiorenza Cossotto is fabulous as Lady Macbeth, and it was really an opportunity to hear her in these starring roles because she was a mezzo. And usually when you heard her, and I heard her at the Met like a million times, she was always, Ulrica and Ballo or Amneris. That was one of her really big roles. She was splendid as Amneris, but it's the seconda donna, it's always the second lady. So here, she's the first lady, and she was just a terrific singer. She really was. She sounds great here. She's a totally involved Lady Macbeth. And Macbeth himself is Cheryl Milnes, who's wonderful. And he was 1976. He was in fabulous voice. I mean, they're all in really, really good shape. Rogero Raimondi is Banquo, and Jose Carreras is Macduff. It's a fabulous cast. And you've got amazing witches. I mean, the choruses and the ballet and all that stuff. It's trashy music, but they're witches. I mean, it's deliberately so. And Muti just revels in it. He drives it really hard. He makes them really sing and hang on for dear life at the tempos he chooses. It's a thrilling conception and a wonderful view of Verdi and sort of the new Verdi for the second half of the 20th century that Muti and Abbado were promoting. And they did it in different ways. And so I think that this is definitely one of, if I had to choose, only one recording by Muti. However wonderful he has been in the symphonic repertoire and doing other things like that, I just think this is sensational and a legacy recording. I really do. So I hope that the evil god Carreras is happy with his choice. He should sit and relish it and reconsider his baleful intent. And you should have a shot at this too, because it really, really will knock your socks off. I mean, oh goodness, the conjuration scene with the witches and the Banquo and Macbeth. And oh my gosh, and the whole, oh gee whizzo. It's great. I just love it. I'm sorry. I love it. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.